Saturday and Sundays we come out here to sit, play Scrabble, and try and sell this house.
What are you asking for it now?
$69,900.
And any idea how much it might have been during the boom, the height?
About $250,000 probably. She was a friend of mine that had the house, and she bought it in about 1982, and probably paid $69,900 for it at that time.
Yeah,
that's sad, you know, when you.
And that was fully furnished. She bought
it fully furnished. There's no longer any furniture that goes with it. Years ago, you know, with $2,500 to buy a lot out here.
$50 down, $50 a month.
They went up to, you know, $40,000, $50,000, you know, during the boom. Now, probably $2,500 again.
People who knew, you know, are the true investors but they know what to look for when to get out. I mean, because that's how they make their millions.
We used to comment, you know, you drive by all these new condos and developments and everything, and think, where are all these people getting all this money, you know, to do that? And as soon as they build them, they'd fill them up as fast as, you know, as they were built.
They were buying dirt as it was being, you know. I mean,
getting on waiting lists, you know, to get into.
I mean, you just couldn't. The people couldn't be down here fast enough to get what was going on. It was just amazing. People were buying 4 or 5 homes, thinking they could flip them before the market. You know, before there was any consequences. We had people telling folks, you can buy now and you'll never make a mortgage payment because somebody will pay for it. You know, you'll sell it. So it was just nuts.
There was a time when typically on any given day, 5 new homes were being started. Now you get 15 in a month and everyone says, well, that's pretty good. A lot of these sitting for sale, and these aren't small homes. Some of these are huge. Here's one, never finished. The world of speculation went from low to medium all the way up to stratospheric.
When units are being created at a rate that exceeds the growth coming into the area at its best and highest growth period, you're still building more units than people that are moving in. That doesn't make sense. And that's clearly where we were.
You know, 16% of the workforce in Lee County was related to construction. So people came here for jobs. People came here to work because there's a lot of building going on. And if you were anywhere related to construction or financing or real estate, there was plenty of work and great opportunity in the mid-2000s. So that money was coming in so you could afford to buy a house.
When the construction business stopped, they couldn't pay the mortgages anymore, so they rented. When they couldn't pay the rent anymore, they moved.
And then the other thing was that banks, you know, as bigger banks started to have difficulties and late payments and foreclosure rates started to increase, that was the telltale sign, you know, that the market had totally changed.
This is something that was all set up and was going to have lots of these luxury homes on this nice big lake, and it's been sitting like this for a long time. Kind of, if you remember Back to the Future, what was they called it? Lionsgate. Bella Vista at Kismet Lakes. Now it's Bella Nothing.
It finally reaches a point where there's nobody that's going to pay this inflated price. And when there's nobody to pay for it, you're stuck with it.
My name is Melinda Pinsinger. I'm a CPA. I work for a public accounting firm in Fort Myers, and I was an owner of a coffee shop in Lehigh Acres, the LA Cafe and Coffee House, until November of 2008. I was driving home from Fort Myers where I worked and thinking that we needed a place like a coffee shop in Lehigh. There was nothing like that in Lehigh, and I figured, well, I can wait for it to happen, or I can probably make that happen myself. So knowing that I had equity in the house, I decided to do that. And I researched for about 2.5 years and opened in January 2008. My feeling was that if the coffee shop didn't go as planned, I could always sell the house and pay off the home equity line of credit, and I would be able to make it through. The first house I bought in Lehigh Acres, I bought in 2002. I was there for 2 years, and I bought this one in 2004. At one point it was appraised at $290,000. That was in 2006. In November, it appraised at 140, and now it's down to 79.9. Every time I have someone look at it, it's lower. I had to make a choice at one point whether I was going to try and keep my house or keep the business going, because I didn't have enough credit to keep making payments on both of them, and I couldn't get more credit. So I decided to stop making the payments on the house and try and save the business. But then, because I wasn't making house payments, the credit card companies, even my business credit card companies, started to increase my rates, even though I was paying them every month on time. And I got notice from one that they were going to increase my rate to 33% unless I wrote them a letter by a certain day, which I did. And they closed my account because of writing that letter. But then when I tried to negotiate the rate lower when they raised it anyway, they said my account was closed. I owe about 3 times what the house is worth now.
The abandoned homes and the economy being the way it is, huge uptick in crime. For a while, the air conditioners, even from homes that were being lived in, they would just come back at the end of the day and no air conditioner left outside. They were stolen for the copper tubing.
The police have been there many, many times. DEA and FBI all surrounded the house, and yeah, it was quite a scene one night. Next thing you know, people are gone, and no one's taking care of it. 2000, the house I lived in sold for $45,000. 3-4 years ago, they wanted $210,000 for that house. You know, it's still for sale. Half of these houses that are for sale, or more than half of them around here, are foreclosures.
I'm in the middle of it, watching all these deeds being recorded. We're having just an unbelievable time trying to keep up in the official records with all the mortgages and deeds and everything. Mortgage foreclosures 2 years ago we had 3,500 filed for the first 7 months of our fiscal year. Last year we had 15,061 for the same time period. That's October through April. This year we had a mere 14,625. So it's down 3% from last year, and it's still up 313% from 2 years ago.
My name is Maggie Gonzalez, and I live in Cape Coral, Florida. And January 1st is when we renew our lease for 2009. Well, the landlord or manager came to the household to tell us that the owner had stopped paying the house in September of 2008. And we get this in the mail for 1 month. Next month, same document, still same thing in the mail, saying that the house is going under foreclosure. And another one. And another one. This was actually the first one. And then this is our actual August lease. I was actually very worried that the bank would just come, you know, someone would come to our door and say, all right, well, you got 30 days to move out, you know? So that's what I'm worried about, especially from family and friends experiences. I know that houses right now, you can't rent them. Chances are the ones who are for rent are already foreclosed on, or the ones that are for rent are the actual mortgage payment of the home because the owner can't afford to, you know, take the pay cut, I guess. If we move out, it's like a jungle out there because there's so many people in our same situation that are looking for a roof over their heads to live, and you know, it's hard since there's so many of us to find a place to live.